Taste. Top Meta Life with sunshine in a bottle. Available in peach and lemon flavor. Lipton iced tea. Deliciously refreshing.
Mom, there's so many empty milk packs in the kitchen. I need my milk bottle. One pig in the North program. All you need to do is just turn in 2 or more empty packs of North to stand a chance to be among the winners of 500,000 naira each for 2 days and nights. You can also win a no other person or alone right now.
ìròyìn gbàgbọ́sì ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ̀ sọ́wọ́ iwájú ìkànnì ọmọdúàbí. Slash 105.5 FM bẹ́ẹ̀ ti gbọ́ wa kétékété. Ẹ tó láǹfààní àti fojú wò.
Good morning once again, and I hope you're doing great wherever it is you're listening to us from. This is Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station, and we're reaching you live from the big brown roof city called Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. How are you doing this morning? And is this the last day? Oh, yay! Well, I don't know why I'm excited. Not that, I'm wishing away the day, but I'm just really excited. There's always excitement at the end of something because then it's birthing something new. So we're just excited that the Ember months are finally here. I'm one of those who always believe in the good in everything. So if you're one of those who is always ready to look out for something negative because of the Ember months, then you need to stop, because anything you expect will come to you. So the Ember months are filled with gladness and goodness and everything good. All right, so we're glad it is the end of August. And as we, of course, move into September, we pray for everything good. Welcome back to the Morning Splash, and I hope you're doing great. I'm your host, Ronke Giwa Onafuwa. And to those who are watching us live on Facebook, we say thank you very much for tuning in. This is going to be an interesting segment, and we obviously hope that you will share this to your community. So if you're watching me live on Facebook, please share this video to your community, because I think that they're absolutely going to love my guests and of course this interview I'm about to have with him today. If you're a regular on Facebook, or you've been on Facebook or active on Facebook, perhaps you may be somebody you know. If you listened to me earlier, I told you I'll be talking to a storyteller. Well, I'm definitely someone that loves stories. I love, listening to other people's stories. I'm not as great at writing people's stories as this guy. So, of course, when I bumped into him on Facebook and I saw how he really just told people's stories, real life stories, by the way, real life stories, then for me, I was just totally in awe. And a recent story he told of a young lady who had been promised, of course, like a lot of young ladies, who had been promised heaven and earth, of course, in going out of the country, going to the most times to the Arab countries where they are promised, jobs and lots of money. But of course, when they get there, they find that the reality is sort of different. So this story jumped at me and I thought I needed to have him back here today. So please welcome Femi Oyemi from Awati, Ibadan. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Ronke. Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, it is such a pleasure. Good to have you here.
Nice to be back here.
Absolutely. And I think I met you about more than 5 years ago.
Yeah, more than 5 years
I remember.
ago.
And
yes.
You started Awati Ibadan about 5 years ago?
Yes, 5 years ago.
Yes.
Precisely.
All right. And this is someone who's also a lawyer. Do lots of people know that
no,
you're a lawyer?
No, they don't know that.
Okay.
No, they don't know that.
Okay. I think I just told a secret.
Yeah, you did.
All right. So, now that I've introduced him to you, maybe you want to take time out. If you're on Facebook already watching us, go to Awati Ibadan so that maybe you can get a bit of a heads up on what we're about to talk about. I'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Splash FM 105.5.
Admission. Did you participate in the last UTME with good results? Or do you have diploma certificates, NCE, JUPEP, IJMB, or professional certificates? You can pursue your degree in law, applied sciences, arts, management, and social sciences at Koladaisi University, Ibadan, Oyo State, with 5 relevant O-level credits and your UCME 2021-2022 JAMB score at affordable tuition fees payable in installments. Call or WhatsApp 08084 301409 07037953524. Visit our website www.koladaisiuniversity.edu.ng. Announcer, Registrar.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Splash on Splash 105.5 FM. I'm Ronke Giwa Onafuwa. All right, so, well, since I already let the secret out, I'm talking to lawyer and writer Femi Owoyemi, who writes for Awati Ibadan. Good to have you here once again.
Thank you very much, Ronke.
All right, so I know you've always been a writer.
Yes.
I mean, from when you were young, you've been writing, but did you ever think that you'd actually have, it's a really successful blog like Awati Ibadan when you were writing? It was just something that was a hobby?
Well, I didn't think that I was going to have anything like this. For me, it was more like, should I call it an accidental thing?
Okay.
Yeah, but if I ever dreamt of writing anything, maybe a book.
Yes, I'm sure you have written a book.
Maybe I
Yes,
thought
actually.
I approach people and say, oh, I want to do this, or just in random conversation.
Yes.
Or let people learn, let people get 1 or 2 lessons from this, and then oftentimes it will be, okay, give me some time to think about it, blah, blah, blah. But then I think the most common way now is people reaching out to say that,
because the blog is now something that a lot of people have heard about.
Say, oh, okay, I want to tell my story, or I just went through something and I want to share it, and all that. And there's the other bit of where I just put up my projects, where I say, I'm working on this story or working on this
kind of
topic
story.
or this theme,
Right.
and then people then say, oh yeah,
I know somebody.
Yeah, but then that's also not quite easy.
Right, exactly.
Usually from the start, people don't respond. If I say, oh, I want to tell a story on so, maybe one person.
Right.
But by the time you do the one story, another person will now see it and be like, oh, I have a similar
yes,
experience. I want to. So that way a series gets completed and then we can move on.
All
to
right,
that.
so let's call this lady the what name can we give her? The lady, was it Saudi Arabia she went to?
Yes, so she went to Saudi Arabia first.
Yes.
She was there for a while.
Okay.
Then she went to Dubai.
Right. So, for example, was this lady? Was this someone you met, or somebody that was, you met through somebody? And I mean, how did this one happen?
Okay, so this particular one, interestingly, we were not supposed to do this story.
Okay.
I was working on something else, which I will still do in the end. I was working on a particular theme. I was working on single mothers and stuff like that.
Right.
And so I posted it and I said, okay, I'd love to meet.
Right.
So at the time she wasn't in the country. But she just saw it and she said, oh, I'd like to tell a story, but I'm not around now. So eventually she came home and then we were meeting for the first time and I just felt, okay, since I knew she was out of the country, let me just, out of courtesy, say how was it, how was where you went. And basically that was just the intention. And then that one simple question, and we're talking for 2 hours. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. So we talked about that for 2 hours. Then we started talking about the reason why we met.
Yes.
And then I got home and I couldn't sleep.
I thought,
and then
this is the story.
I said to myself, this has to go out. I don't know how, but this has to go out. Because I hadn't gotten a consent for that.
Yes.
So I went on to write.
Okay.
And then this writing was long.
Yes.
In the end, it was about 6,000 words, 6,000 plus.
Right.
The first draft. And then I couldn't even sit down to crop it down. Then I went back to her and said, I think there's something here and I need your consent. If you can give it, that's fine. If you can't, it's okay. And she was like, oh, sure, please, let's do it.
Wow.
So it was totally unplanned. It wasn't in the mix at all. We were waiting for something different, and then the story came.
Wow. And without telling you too much, because obviously you want you to go and read the story yourself, but this story is it's common to, it's a story we hear all the time. Young girls that are promised, great jobs somewhere in Italy sometimes, in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, which has become the recent, utopia that a lot of people think they're going to go there and just live the life. And so a young girl is promised a job where she's going to earn about 150K. She eventually leaves the country, moves to Saudi Arabia, and then, well, let's just say she saw Pepe. Her eyes saw
Pepe.
And I'm not talking Tatashi, I'm talking Rudu Ambawa. Exactly. So you definitely need to read. That story is fantastic. You have quite a few other stories as well. Even my story was told about 5 years ago. I remember, you told my story, part of my story, about 5 years ago. Yeah, so you can, I'm sure it will be, they have to go
to the archives.
Exactly. Yes. To the archives on Facebook in order to, get that. But it's so fantastic. How do you not get emotionally, for example, I know a lot of us that read get emotionally drawn to some of your, let me call them characters, even though the stories are real. But how do you detach yourself in a way that you're able to tell the story without getting emotionally involved with this?
It's not that I don't get emotional sometimes. I do. This particular one got to me, and I could say that it almost did me in. At some point I posted, I think it was after the fourth part or the third, I posted and I said I was not going to, I had announced that it was going to be a 7-part series, right? And by the time I got to the third part, I remember that night I was crying. I was because again the reality dawned on me that
this is somebody's reality.
This is somebody's reality. And then because when the story went up and it went up on Twitter, it went viral. Day one, it went viral straight. And the way Twitter is, I was getting feedbacks. So people began to tell me things. People began to tell me things like, my cousin went, we've not heard from her since 3 months ago. Somebody said, my friend went and then she was dumped at the airport with an organ taken out of her body already. She died when she got to Nigeria. I was getting all sorts of feedbacks and people. A part of me had felt maybe when this story would go up, some people would say, oh no, that's not the reality. Oh, she's exaggerated the whole thing. But then people were coming up to say, oh, this is 100% true. This is 100% true. Some were even saying, she's lucky.
Wow.
Like, she's lucky. And I remember she said to me that she was lucky.
She's heard the fate of other people.
Yeah, lucky in this, like, the things that she went through. She was lucky her bosses didn't sexually molest her and all that. So she had that. She said that was something she was always thankful for. The bosses were just wicked when it came to the work and how they used her.
Yes, like a horse.
But at least she would say things like, at least she was grateful that they were not doing those things to her. And so all of those things just sort of like weighed me down day 3.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm not doing 7 days again.
Yes.
I'll just find 4 days, 5 days, and then I'll summarize it for you all. And go. So it's not every time that you can, but then you just learn to do it.
Right.
You just learn to do it because you have to do justice to the story. And for me, the biggest thing is for whoever has told the story to be able to say, you did justice to my story.
Exactly. This is how I would have told you. This is my voice.
Do you understand? It is great that people learn from somebody's story, but then the person who has told the story, do they feel, how do they feel reading their own story?
Right. Okay. All right. So is this your most popular story, would you say? If you gauge.
I've been thinking about it. I'm not sure.
Okay, hold the thought. We'll come back to that after this break. We're going to take a bit of a break because when we come back as well, we'll still focus because I believe the reason the lady wanted you to tell this story is so that a lot of other people also know, because they're still girls today. I'm sure they're driving them to the airport. They are listening to this radio show, but they are determined that that will not be me. That's not going to be my own story. Me, I'm going to be different. It's special. You know in your mind that there's something off about this person, this agency that's telling you they're taking you to Dubai to work. But you're saying it will not be me. We'll focus a bit more on this, this issue when we come back from the break. So don't go away.
Bode, now what do you dey find for kitchen?
My dear, na spoon to drink off medicine.
Honey, take comics. Just here, drink and get relief.
Yes, so summer comics for scratch throat. Comics get dextromethorphan and guanfacine. Just here, drink and get relief from cough. Ide kulele to drink.
Are they relief now? I love comics.
Now, Orange Drugs Limited, they distribute comics. Products will make you drowsy. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Comics, Ide kulele.
Today is a good day. A good day to take a walk. A good day to reach for your goals. A good day to finish reading that book. A good day to connect with your friends while doing the things you love. A good day to shoot your shot. A good day to enjoy life to the fullest with Malta Guinness.
Malta Guinness. Enjoy a world of good.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No, dear. Na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth, wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Yes, favors, please.
Whether you're turning up with your girls
or hanging out with your guys.
Maybe you're chilling on the couch with your favorite movie.
Or just having a regular dinner.
Whatever, whenever, or wherever it is, enjoy every moment with the distinct taste of Feiruz, the premium soft drink for every occasion.
When you come into the Glow Cafe, you're in for a world of treats. Not only can you monitor all your voice and data usage with ease, buy, share, borrow, and gift data and airtime in the smoothest ways, pay for any services of your choice using your airtime or your bank card, and manage or change your tariff plan to any plan you prefer seamlessly. You can also add friends, get sweet rewards, and so much more. Oh, and don't forget, if you ever need to recharge outside the Glow Cafe app, just dial *805# to purchase airtime or data through your bike. So, step into your Glow Cafe today.
Or download the Glow Cafe app today. Glow Cafe, where it all goes down.
helping hand.
Story. He get it one man way I know. He say he one blow, make business no dey slow. That's why he collect loan with heavy interest when they choke. Now time don't reach to pay the loan. He no fit sleep for house again. That's how he dey worry. Dodgy, runny. Beggy. My people, no let your story be like this man where I know. If na loan you dey find to make your business better, I go trade by Sterling Agent Banking. Now the only loan we know they choke. Them get better interest and you get choice to pay back every day or every week. So the money no go too plenty for your head. Find any Sterling agent or branch for your area or call 0700-822-0000 to collect your own. I go trade, go give you loan, yo. We no go choke at all. Life go better with I Go Trade.
Yes, favors, please.
Whether you're turning up with your girls
or hanging out with your guys,
maybe you're chilling on the couch with your favorite movie,
or just having a regular dinner.
Whatever, whenever, or wherever it is, enjoy every moment with the distinct taste of Fayrouz, the premium soft drink for every occasion.
Nice strike! Guy, imagine say Messi, Ronaldo with Mbappe dey your house. Imagine the kind football experience where you go enjoy. Go imagine say you cross leg on top share, dey flex for your house because now our home, our football with La Liga, Serie A and Premier League.
No dey imagine things so. Go get your own GoTV decoder plus 1 month of mass subscription for only 6,900 naira. I'll make you enjoy all the ogbonge live matches wey full ground this season. GoTV, love it.
Someone gave me this script to read, but I'm JJ Okocha. I don't know how many words I must read in a minute. I play football, not Mr. Actor. I don't read scripts. I'm at my best when I feel this. That feeling? That's betking. Join us at betking.com.
Bode, now what do you find for kitchen?
My dear, now spoon to drink off medicine.
Honey, take comics. Just here, drink and get relief.
Yes, so summer comics for scratch throat. Comics get dextromethorphan and guanfacine. Just here, drink and get relief from cough. Idekulele to drink.
Are they relieved now? I love comics.
Now, Orange Drugs Limited, they distribute comics. Products will make you drowsy. If symptoms never stop after 3 days, make you waka go see your doctor. Comics, Idekulele.
A school with a difference. Lead British International School, located in the tranquil area of Jericho, Ibadan, and the serene area of Grandpa, Abuja, was founded over 14 years ago.
Our mission is to equip future leaders by providing world-class educational and social experiences in a conducive learning environment with our core values of discipline, truthfulness, self-reliance, and creativity.
Our excellent school offers the best of the English and Nigerian curriculums. Lead British International School caters to the needs of children from 3 months old to 17 years. We have state-of-the-art boarding and day facilities. Entrance exams into all classes is ongoing every Thursday at the school premises located at Block 5, 7 and 8, Akiola Magistrate, Jericho, Ibadan.
Application forms are on sale at 10,000 naira. For further inquiries, contact 0808 187 5598 or 0803 384-2368.
Lead British International School, equipping future leaders.
Sure you wanna feel that boost? Allow me to introduce Amber Energy Drink. No more shutting down, we're going up. Oh yeah, get ready, stimulate your energy. Amber is the remedy. Go around, tell somebody. Oh yeah, get ready, stimulate your energy. Amber is the remedy. Go around, tell somebody. Say, what are you waiting for? Yeah, now you can do more because Amber Energy Drink there for you. Amber Energy Drink there for you. Don't need to go too far. You can find it where you are because Amber Energy Drink there for you. Amber Energy Drink there for you. Yeah, yeah.
Amber Energy Drink. Stimulate the energy in you.
Splash FM 105.5.
Welcome back. It is still beyond the surface on Splash 105.5 FM. I'm your host, Ronke Giwa Onafuwa. I do hope you're doing great. If you're watching us live on Facebook, I say hello. And of course, thank you very much for watching, for being a part of the program. Do share, because this conversation is getting even more interesting as I sit with storyteller Femi Owoyemi, who recently told the story of a young lady who was promised a job in the Middle East. And of course, in getting there, she found out that the realities were different. Do share this to your community. And of course, let them be a part of this conversation as well. If this has been your reality as well, go in the comment section and share your story with us, or share your comments and contribution. All right, so, Femi Owoyemi is here, and he's such a prolific writer, I would say, because telling people stories, even telling fictitious stories can be hard. Now, telling people stories in a way that, you still maintain their voice, I can imagine is obviously a lot harder. Do you think that this lady told the story in this way, because it was very raw, she was very open, because she didn't initially think, do you think it would have been different if she knew this was going to be written about? She was telling you because she thought she was just talking to somebody. Do you think she should have been this open if she knew that this was going to be the story you would post?
I don't think so. I think she's just that kind of person.
Right.
Once she's made up her mind that she wants to tell something, she's just going to go all the way through with it and give you, no matter how solid it is, just give you and say, okay, you know what, this is what it is, take it. I remember one thing she said when I was asking her for consent and all that, and she said, sit there. Listen, I didn't steal anything.
Exactly.
I didn't borrow money from anybody. It's not story, it's my reality.
True. So, her pride is still intact, even though, yes, a lot of people may look down on what she's done, but at least she still went there, and sort of what she did was just labor. And there's, what they say, there's honor, in labor. All right, so thank for all of those who are watching. We have some of your people on Facebook watching. Lua Shegun Fumi Ayodeju Joe says Awati Ibadan, showing you love. Mr. Adegboye Galua Tosin says, watching live from Houston, Texas, USA. Always proud of you, Ronke Giwa. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for tuning in. And of course, don't forget to share to your community. All right, so Let's talk a bit about some of this. We said before we went on that break about how a lot of people will still think, a lot of people are still going this route of trying to go and get that greener pastures. Is it that they are running from something or running to something? I know that this is not the first time you've heard a situation like this. And like I said, there's probably somebody who's listening who some agent has promised you they're taking you to the Middle East and you get some work, but they haven't given you so are they running away from something or running to something?
I think it's both. I think it's both. They're running away from certain harsh realities at home. They're running towards a promise. And like poet Wasan Shire said, that nobody leaves home except for the mouth of a shark. If things were good, if the country was great, you most likely will never hear that an American or a British person
will go
going
to Middle East
to work as a maid. No, then when the reality is back at home, almost leaves you without an option, and it looks like, man, this is hell. Somebody comes with a promise.
Yes.
You run towards the
but some people will disagree and say it's greed, Jerry. A lot of them are just because they want people at home, they want to be able to send dollars to people at home and feel like, how people sometimes when they go abroad, they have this superiority because now they can send dollars to you. So, but obviously, generalizing and putting everybody in that box. So what would you say to people who say it's just greed?
Again, so I always say that sometimes you need to remove your lens, remove your glasses, and then wear someone else's glasses and see things from their perspective, from their world. Sometimes people who say things like that are coming from a place of privilege. Privilege doesn't mean that you have excess or you have more than enough as well. But sometimes some of those people who say that have buffers. You're telling someone who doesn't have a buffer. You're telling someone who is perhaps the only person that the whole family looks up to, to settle bills and help sort things out.
Yes.
You're telling them that it's because they want to flash dollars or they want to do something that, for many, it's just about survival. Really, it's about survival. I mean, if I may say, in her case, for example, of course, she had plans.
She was a single mom.
Just trying to get a lot of things together. And for her, she just wanted to work, raise capital to start business and come back home. I mean, if
so
she had...
do you think people really do think, I'm going to go there, maybe get an office job? They don't actually... they don't... Well, obviously, nobody will ever comprehend the kind of thing she's gone through. But do you think they actually believe that they're going to go there, earn 150K, have like this easy life? Do people really believe that? Or they just are in denial and they know it's going to be tough, but they just think, God will go with me. I will, it can't be as bad as home.
Okay, so I think that it could be two ways. It could be that people actually believe, right, because they don't know any better.
Sure.
Like, with all these things that we're talking about, some people still have not heard of anything happening in these places, right? So there are people who, they actually believe that, oh yeah, this place is a land of promise.
Right.
And then there are those who live in denial, who say things like, oh, Amarofe. We're just going to do this. And then there's a way that, because most of the times the stories that we hear from these places are not so detailed.
Yes.
So without details, you cannot totally picture what your struggle is going to be.
Yes.
The more we have detailed stories come out, the more that we can. So people will say, oh, she needs to work hard. I'm in Nigeria, I'm working now.
Exactly.
But you have no idea the depth of that work. You have no idea how much it's going to take away from you. You have no idea the fact that you're probably going to be working almost 24 hours a day, and that you're
cleaning people's pool,
doing all sorts of things.
Yes.
In fact, you have no idea how bad it's going to get.
idea.
It's not just being hardworking. No. It's deeper than that.
Right.
But a lot of people just think it's so they'll be like,
no, be bad, but don't worry, no be bad.
We work in this Nigeria. In this Nigeria, I work now. Nigeria, we have hustling spirit.
Right. Does the lady know how viral her story?
Oh yeah, she does.
Oh, okay.
She does, because I had to tell her.
Yes, I hope it gets to the right places where people, young girls can see, because she talked for at one time, without giving too much out, of stand ironing. What you do is iron for 5 hours straight. You're ironing, you are washing, you're cleaning, you are cleaning up messes, you're taking care of their children, you are going to different all of their children's houses. They are married though, cooking different meals. Okay, I think I'm telling too much, but you can actually go on and read the story and see. It's something that we need to talk about to let more people know, because for me, I just think, wow. And also to think of how, for people to treat people this way, it says a lot about how they see you. How do you see somebody and then make her do all of this work? And in some cases, some people even molest and abuse these girls. How does it say about how they see us from in the Middle East? If there's an agency they actually use to get Nigerian girls to actually come. How does it say about how they see us?
So I don't think it's about how they see Africans alone.
Okay.
I think it's just about how they see people other than their own people outside themselves. And so to them, whether you're Filipino or you're African or something,
you're good for work. You're used for work.
You're basically that. And I think it's something deeply rooted in the culture. It's in the culture, it's in their worldview, and that just is problematic on its own, because even when they don't intend to be wicked, they would come off as wicked, and all that. I remember that there was a particular on Twitter, I think at the point where it was going viral, it fell into the hand of an Arab who was following, and then at some point, I think maybe by part 4, then came under the comment and said, "How you're painting us is bad, blah 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 blah."
I thought so too, because I thought there were certain parts when she would say something, I wonder what this will look like if it gets into.
And then people started calling him out and saying, "Is any of this?
Is it about your image or about calling out what
like
the problem?
Is there any lie in this?" And then he's like, "Oh no, it's not like there's any lie in it, but then this is not all that we are." And then we're like, I just looked at it and I shook my head, and because I thought to myself,
Imagine.
even if you guys had any form of goodness, all of this bad has washed off the good, and so we cannot create a balance in this narrative here. We can't. So because it's deeply rooted in the culture, I had a couple of people who came up to say that I think there is a new generation of Arabs that we may see as we go along. If you read the story, a teenage boy bought the lady a smartphone. Said, "Okay, just give me the money. I'll go buy a smartphone." Even though his father had said no, you're
not allowed to have a smartphone.
So I said, "You know what? Leave him." And I think that the boy defying his father gave her some courage to also speak back in the end.
Yes.
So there's a bit of that. I had 1-2 Arabs message and say they were sorry for what she went through. Yeah, I think I have a screenshot somewhere that they were sorry that she had to go through
let's go
all
beyond
that.
Just being sorry.
That they've heard all sorts of things like that they have witnessed things and that they're not very proud of it themselves. So it's. I think it's something that the culture just perpetuates again and again and again.
And that our government needs to also, that's why we have, certain ministries that are supposed to sort of have some relationship with other countries, so that if people are being treated badly, if there's like a history or they're notorious for doing certain things to your citizens, there should be some sort of, we should be able to meet. It shouldn't be something that should just be happening. Like even these agencies that, get these girls and send them there. At some point she said they had to, thank God for somebody who was on a Nigerian WhatsApp that she joined, who she was able to tell her story. Then the guy came, investigated. Okay, like I said, I won't get ahead of myself. Read the story, but it's such an interesting story. But it's phenomenal, Femi, and you're doing such a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Do you get scared that, for example, people always say, I think people will read your stories more on Facebook than the blog. So what happens if, for example, if Facebook shuts down? At least you have your blog.
Yes, I have my blog. So sometimes I think about it, and I'm like, well, if anything happens to Facebook,
especially in cases where they will even just, Instagram has shut down certain people's accounts. People who have like quite a number of, following and stuff like that. So does it ever occur across your mind?
Once or twice, yes. I just feel that the brand in itself would drag new people back. I always ask myself, if I have to start all over again, can I do it? Yes, I can. Right. I'm not saying it will be. If I'm being frank, it's going to be easier than the first time.
Right. And then people should go to your blog as well, so they know that you're not just on Facebook and Instagram, but you have a blog. So what's the future for your writing? I know we've talked about a book someday, but I hope you're not just paying lip service to that. And
let's not go there.
Okay.
Let's not go there.
All right. So, generally, what's the future for Awati Bado even?
Okay. So, for me, I just want the project to explore storytelling in other forms, to look at other angles. I think that, for example, reading what's written is one thing, but imagine that you could listen to the person tell their story.
Nice.
So
like a podcast.
Yes, imagine if Awati Bado was a podcast.
Yes.
That's another level of storytelling. True. Something like that. For me, it's to continue to look for ways, different media for putting out these stories, for letting people enjoy and learn and engage.
Right.
Stories.
So everyone you've ever featured on your blog is from Ibadan?
Well,
or why is it Awati Ibadan?
Okay, so to answer your question, everybody, no, not everybody, but like 99.99.
Either resident here or from here.
Resident here, from here.
Okay.
But everybody has had a connection. The only person that isn't from Ibadan,
me?
He was, no, you were even connected to Ibadan.
Okay, true, so, I live here.
Yeah. He was passing by, and then I bumped into him.
Okay.
And I just liked the way he was dressed. And I walked up to him and I started having a conversation with him. And that was it.
Wow.
And he said he said he was on his way to Abeokuta.
Wow.
So
he told his story, allowed you to photograph him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was asking you earlier. I mean, are there people who want to tell their stories but don't want to show their faces? I know a lot of the stories that you tell, we see their faces.
Yeah.
You know, so and it was very brave of this lady, for example, because I know Nigerians. Hey, they can your children's children tell that story to them of how your mother was a maid. You know, and stuff like that. You know, so but I mean, how do you get for those who want to be anonymous? How do you tell such stories?
So I can take their pictures without their faces.
Right.
So it could be a body part. It could be maybe like the hands clasped together. It could be the knees. It could be it could just be the feet.
Right.
You know, the story of a young man that I told in 2018, and it was just the feet. And the interesting thing about it was, I didn't know that the brother was following our Ibadan.
Right.
So, and it was a 5-part series. So by the time it got to part 3, the guy messaged me and said, "These shoes belong to my brother." And I'm like, "Who told you your brother is the only one that has this kind of shoes?" And then he goes, "And this story, I know this story. This is my brother." And I'm like, "Oh, well, there was a cut."
Okay, yeah, shoes, yeah. Those shoes. And probably sees a mark that, so I can imagine. But I mean, fantastic, phenomenal work you're doing.
Thank you very much,
Femi, and I mean, really so proud of you and your consistency. It's amazing. So please keep up the good work. We're rooting for you, and of course, some of your people are already watching as well and are here to root for you as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
So glad to have you here.
Same here.
On the show. And I hope you come back when we hear another. Keep telling the stories because we love reading. So when you give us another
well, as long as people want to tell their stories, why not?
How can people reach you? Those who want to tell their stories. Okay, the Awati Badon blog on Facebook, DMs.
Yeah, you can send me a DM. Wow. There's a WhatsApp number in the bio.
Okay, great.
You can reach me.
Great. Yes. So please tell your story. The world wants to read your story. I mean, oftentimes we hoard. There's this culture of silence. We hoard our stories, and then we what's it called? We do not allow people to benefit. There are people who learn lessons and perhaps maybe someone who's listened today and decide to just turn down that agent who said they're going to take them to. If she didn't tell her story, you never know what your story can do to somebody. So don't hold back on telling your stories. I'm always very open. Sometimes when I say certain things on air, I go back and my mom is like, "How can you say that?" I'm like, somebody could have. I mean, if I'm talking about a lump in my breast and I'm telling people to go and check their breast, somebody could be saved from breast cancer.
True.
As opposed to me just, I don't want to talk about, lump in my breast on radio because... So think about all of the people that you could totally, and that's what your storytelling is doing.
Exactly.
So thank you so much, Femi, once again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much
and thank you all for listening. Yes, thank you for watching as well and for being a part of the show. We've got Tiffin Tero up at 9 o'clock. And then, of course, we've got the news at 1. Health Check is also up at 1 today. And we're talking about sickle cell, right, Toby? We're talking about sickle cell. So stay tuned and, tuning at 1:30, actually 1:30 for Health Check. I'm Ronke Giwa Onafuwa. I'll catch you next time. Don't go away.
Splash FM 105.5.
We educate. That's why we are respected. We inform. That's why we are loved. More music. We are the best. The Integrity Station. Splash.
105.5.
From the top of the Fisher Building.
This is
Detroit's number one hit music station.
Splash 105.5 FM. Your Integrity Station.
Baba,
Yes, my son.
tell me a story.
Millions of years ago, a meteorite made of vibranium, the strongest substance in the universe, struck the continent of Africa, affecting the plant life around it. And when the time of men came, 5 tribes settled on it and called it Wakanda.
Why?
We are black. We respect our culture. We are the history. We stand for unity. We We stand for integrity. We are Splash. All Splash. 105.5 FM.
105.5 The Splash.
What you gonna do? I'm gonna call it over, okay. Life is beautiful, it's okay. Jesus, look already. I am there. No more trouble, no more sorrow. I don't go beg, I don't go borrow. Jesus, look already. Correde. Jesus, look already. I call it in Jesus. Jesus, look already. Ire ayo shalom jetonyo. Jesus, look already. Correde. Jesus, look already. Morire ba. Mo correde. No be them say la reality. Mo testify. Once again, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call this over, okay. Life is beautiful, it's okay. Jesus, look already. I am in there. Oh, no more trouble, no more sorrow. I don't go beg, I don't go borrow. Jesus, look already. Jesus, look already. Connection, Jesus, look already. Motuba, Bangkodi, exceedingly abundantly moving Bangkodi, Bangkodi, press down, shake it together.